Welcome everyone. My name is Carla Varola, and this is Welcome to Music Live, the first episode of our podcast where we share how we're surviving in the music industry and all surrounding industries in this pandemic. So basically, no retreat as it relates to music, of course, or for anything that matter. We really just want to inspire our community. But for our purposes, we're going to be talking about music and live performance and live streaming and how folks who really have been around in those industries, and that includes restaurants, healthcare environments, and across the board, how live performance has been really interrupted and changed. But in this age of the pandemic, we're going to talk about positivity and how we're doing it today. And we have a special guest coming today. So let's get to it. Welcome to Music Live. Music Live, the podcast about live music in the age of the pandemic. Our friends in the retail, healthcare, and industry share their stories of hope and survival. And it's hosted by me, Carla V. Welcome everyone. It's Carla Varola. You guys may know me as Carla V. And I've been in this space for quite some time. Thank you so much for joining our show. Today we have an exciting show. We have wonderful guests from Bloomfield, New Jersey. Frank Bucco and Jen Denboer of Bucco's restaurant will be joining us a little later to tell their story of how they're kind of working through this pandemic and dealing with the daily, challenges that people in the retail industry are facing now as the world struggles to operate in this new pandemic norm, and basically how music is helping move that goal to survive along. So a little bit about me, if you don't know who I am. I'm a singer and entertainer, lifelong, and I'm also an IT technologist. So I guess you can say my life has been a sort of duality. Many years ago, after getting bit by the entertainment industry bug and being pre-nominated for Grammys, etc., and I got a small write-up in Billboard. It was amazing. My sister and I, as a Sorella duo that we put together, I was hooked. The entertainment industry, I was like, yes! And, I went out and I pursued the arts full speed ahead. But like any artist, to get a survival job. And this is basically my backstory because, everyone has their story that, kind of colors their life. And, basically at the time, I decided to get a survival job at an industry that I didn't realize was going to be exploding, but it was a great timing. And I became an IT salesperson. And, it was an amazing ride. I had this great career. I did music on the weekends, in restaurants or whichever iteration, private parties, etc. And along the way, I had suffered a couple of those corporate downsizings. And in 2018, it gave me like a reflection moment in my life. So I said, gosh, I've been selling technology and marketing to people on Wall Street and such. I was like, why don't I just reinvent myself and do my passion, which is, I've already been doing the music part-time, if you will, through my company, Carla V Entertainment. But I said, let me focus. So 2019 was the year where I had no clients. I had no, it was scary. But I said, okay, I got to put it out there. And I hit the street and the ground running. And I said, let me shift my model and focus in on the healthcare industry. Because, nursing homes and hospitals and the like, elder care facilities, basically, they need music. It's like music therapy. So I started cold calling, emailing, video emailing, blasting on social media, doing what I could to put myself out there. And that by September 2019, I went from 0 clients to 30. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's working. Sales is like that. There's a lot of, rejection and stuff. But then I shifted and I said, okay, it's time to focus now on the second passion. I already had that engine of music kind of going. And I said, okay, I'm going to launch my IT consulting firm, Envision Source. and I'm going to do both my passions in my way, the way I knew how, right? I should mention that at the time, on a personal note, in 2019, my mother was diagnosed with a very serious illness, which was life-threatening. And I decided to stay in the independent contractor mode for obvious reasons, because family should always come first. And but by the end of 2019, where she was, kind of rolling along, she was doing well. I had all these clients, and then I was starting to build my network in the IT space. And then we did Happy New Year. New Year's came, and everybody was like, wow, like 2020, bring it on, right? If we only knew then what we know now. But, I kept, plowing ahead, and then at the end of February, I started to notice that there was this like swirl of fear around. It was a tri-state area. I live here in New Jersey, but in New York, New Jersey, everybody started talking about this thing called the coronavirus. And, we all started to hear about it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I started taking zinc, vitamins, I do the holistic approach. And one afternoon, I'm in my car after a performance, and I start to get phone calls from the healthcare clients that were booking me. And they start going, we can't, the bookings we have on the calendar, we're clearing it. I guess the pandemic was declared at that point. And I was like, oh my gosh, like within several afternoons, maybe 2 or 3 afternoons, I lost all my clients, all my work. And I was panicked. I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I took my IT brain and I said, okay, if I can't perform for them in person, let me bring myself in a virtual fashion to my clients, right? So I put together a webinar, and then I got sick. And wow, I was like, what the hell is this? I wasn't going around my mother. I was staying away from her for obvious reasons. And, I then was like, it was just a crazy moment. I'm sure everybody had that experience back in March, right? When everything was kind of coming at you. And then I stayed away for about 6 weeks. I was very, very ill. I lost close to 20 pounds, and I didn't eat, whole 9 yards. I was really, really ill. But then I got word that my mom took a turn for the worse around May. So I ran in and I took a test. I got a negative result from coronavirus, COVID, whatever. But it was a blessing that I did get that negative, because then I was able to spend the last few months with my mom before she left us in July. And so during that time, much to my surprise, around that time in May, I started getting calls from my nursing home clients, and they were asking, would I sing to the balconies? Would I sing outside? And I was like, yes, of course. These poor patients were in their rooms, for like months at this point. And it was such a joy to bring music to those wonderful people. And soon thereafter, I started to get calls from restaurants that I used to sing for, and come on in and uplift the patrons and with music. And I was like all about it. And it was just a moment. I took it all in. And as I started to perform, I realized so many people needed music. Oh my gosh, they do. They so do. So that brings me to my next segment. And we're going to shift here now, because I've invited one of the wonderful restaurants that I format to join me on today's broadcast, because they get it. They get that music brings, hope to people who've been in their home, locked in, their homes for fear. So without further ado, we're going to bring Frank, and I'm going to put the applause meter on here for you, Frank. There you go. You're getting your own applause. Let's turn on that camera. Welcome, Frank. Let me just.
How are you, Carla?
I'm doing well. I'm so happy to see you guys. Doing what you're doing. You're bringing a lot of joy to people with staying in there and doing the music, doing the restaurant. Giving a nice ambiance.
I guess that's all you could do today, Carlos. Keep fighting. It was a tough road, and I'm sure for everybody, I'm one of the lucky ones that are still surviving. So I have to count my blessings.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh.
A couple businesses right on my block here, and they were here for years. And I'm sure there's more to come. And it's not a good thing, of course.
Oh, I
I
know.
just
I
hope I
know.
keep standing.
You
But we
will.
fight, we
You
keep
will.
fighting. We're trying our best. We do whatever we can do to. That's one of the reasons we brought in entertainment. We put up some nice tents to block heat and try and block some rain. It's not weatherproof. It is working. It's kept me alive.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll get some more indoor dining soon. Unfortunately, we only have a capacity of 60, so 25% of it isn't much.
Right.
But
Oh
we're
my
making the
gosh.
best of it.
So because some of my friends that are joining on the broadcast today, they don't know who Bucco's is. Why don't you just tell them a little bit about your background, a little history, and then tell us about this new location, this new restaurant.
Okay, well, I've been in the business approximately 38, 39 years, doing basically Italian food, and that's just what we're doing here. Italian, American flair, um, basic stuff, nothing fancy. It's simple, basic, but good, great ingredients. Um, and changing our menu a few times a year. It's going well. It's something a little different than we used to do, but it's going very well. Smaller menu, smaller venue altogether. We only have, like I said, 60 seats inside, and we never
Right.
had outdoors. Now we have, so maybe we have 15, 16 seats inside, another 32 outside, which is a little shy, but we used to have altogether inside.
And
So
so,
it's
what is the? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But what do you feel like? Do you think the music kind of adds a nice flair? I think from my perspective, anyways, it does. But what are your
without a
thoughts?
doubt, Paul. We tried it. We have something we call Dining Under the Stars here
Hmm.
every other Friday in the summer and every Friday in August. And I tried it the week they opened outdoor dining, figuring
Hmm.
let's give a reason for people to come down. Live entertainment, outdoor dining the first week, and maybe we'll start growing on it. Sure enough, the first week it worked. We did it on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because they didn't start Dining on the Stars yet till a couple weeks later. When they
Right.
started Dining on the Stars, I continued my own entertainment on Thursday and Saturday. Now that's finished, so we're still continuing our Fridays and Saturdays on our own. We just
Gorgeous.
partnered with Anthony's restaurant. He's sharing the music with us, and it seems to be working. I mean, when you don't have the music, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
People aren't staying as long; they're eating and running. Now they're eating appetizers, entrees, sipping their wine, listening to music.
Yeah.
It's interesting, very interesting.
We needed it too, right? This time, somehow I was like, I'm turning off the TV set. I'm done with this. you know, right?
Exactly. In the beginning, I
Because
thought it was all nonsense. I thought it was. I said to Jennifer, I said, I can't believe how much business had dropped off the first 2 weeks of March. I mean, not dropped off. It was horrific, horrific. Our weekends, 4 or 5 tables. And I said to her, geez, I wonder what's going on here. She said, look at the television. I said, it can't be this nonsense. And sure enough, it was this nonsense, and it wasn't nonsense. It was for real, and it's still for real, and just praying it doesn't get any worse.
yeah, I was going to say, Jen and I were talking last week when I was there, and she mentioned about how you guys went from dine-in experience to, instantly overnight to delivery. Like, what was that like?
It was scary. I never thought we'd make it in delivery because it's not the kind of place. It's fine dining, and it's not the kind of food you really want to have delivered. But I have some great customers. They kept calling for deliveries, for pickup, curbside pickup, and they really supported us enough to keep going. I mean, we didn't miss a beat. It was tough. It was just the two of us. We had to lay everybody off naturally because you
Yeah.
just can't afford to keep paying. There was nothing coming in, but our to-go business kept us alive. The day
Thank
they
God.
started outdoor dining, that dropped down the tubes. We're still doing okay with it, but it wouldn't have been enough to keep us going. But we picked up with the outdoor dining, and then with the music, now it's really going well. Now, where does it go from here? The cold weather coming, who knows?
I know. Oh my gosh. You small businesses, I'm part of that too. We're the lifeblood of our communities. Just you going out there and keeping, blinders on and just moving forward. It's something about your personality, right? We won't stand down and let anything
You
knock us
can't.
down,
If
right?
you do, probably you're not going to get anywhere. It was scary in the beginning. When I tell you scary, really scary, because we're in our 10th month
Yeah.
when it hit us, and the 2 months prior to it, we really started booming. I mean, I knew that it was going to go nothing but up from there, and then this had a hit. So our first 10 months, then you get hit with COVID. It was a scary thing, but we're still
Yeah.
here, we're still fighting, so we have
Amen.
to be proud of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, so I'm going to show a nice. So let me talk to my viewers here. We got a few viewers that kind of coming in, coming out. We're going to share a little commercial. Let me get my video up here, how to use this back end studio. But I put together a nice little promo for you guys, and I'll be sharing it on my page, and you guys feel free to share it on yours. But anyone who hasn't been to this wonderful location in Bloomfield, Bucco's is fine Italian American dining, and then when we finish playing the commercial, Frank, you'll tell us what's coming up with, hold on a second, with the fall. On here, beautiful. Okay, so I was going to go to the chat, but I don't think there's I see a few people here. Let me just see what this says here. One says, hi, Carla. No questions at this time, but so we're going to, all right, so let's get that off. Well, I want to say thank you. And before I say goodbye to you, I want you to share with the audience what's coming up, what's in store for the fall.
Well, Carla, we're working on some stuff with the township, which has been very, very good to us. They gave us this barricade, and we were capable of getting 32 chairs outside, 32 seats. They barricaded off our side of the street, which was very nice. And now they're in the process of distributing heaters to restaurants, whether they be hang above the heaters or propane heaters. They're just figuring out how to do it to not cause any fires or any damage or any problems. And we'll know that within a couple of days if we could wrap our tents to block some wind. Right now, we just got approved through the end of November to have the outdoor dining. So now we have to see how to keep it warm. Once we could do that, we could still do what we're talking about, switching some entertainment to inside, to promote inside a little bit more. Naturally, we'll let seats, and we're going to have to limit seating times due to windy turnover, unless they give us some more seating. Unfortunately, inside, I don't have the space for entertainment every week because I lose tables.
Of course,
so
yeah, no.
I could put the entertainment because I can't have the tables anyway. So it might be good for in and out. How entertainers could stand out there and play in the cold, that's the problem we're going to have if we want to do it outside.
Oh, I've done it.
Really? What do you
yeah, trust me.
Something over your face and sing through it?
Not that cold, but no, you know what, usually...
cold out there last night. We had Jerry Tovey here last night. I don't know if you know. And,
I saw,
he started to get a little cold there towards the end.
Yeah. It
But
gets a little chilly.
The early part of the night, 6, 7 o'clock isn't so bad. Now in a couple more weeks, 6, 7 o'clock is going to be bad.
Yeah.
So we have to see what they're going to allow us to do, what they're not going to allow us to do. And I'm sure we're going to lose some seating because some of the seats are not under the tents. So those seats we're going to lose. But still, if we get a little bit more inside and the outside through November, hopefully we can make it through. Maybe get 75% for the holidays, which I doubt, because it's not looking good out there.
Yeah, this is just, we don't know what the outcome and the ending is going to be. We're just kind of in the middle of the story, right?
That's the whole question, Carl. When does it end? Nobody has that answer.
Yeah,
I think it's here to stay, but to get 100% back, I don't know when we're going to see that, if we're going to see it. I think it's a long way off, but you have to just keep figuring something out. I don't know what it is. Delivery, pickup. I don't know how that's going to work in the winter months. What are you going to do? You got to keep fighting. That's all you can do.
Well, I will give you a positive imagery. Remember, 1917 eventually gave way to the 1920s flappers, right? So
Yeah,
eventually they came out of it and they had the roaring 20s, so hopefully that'll be our story, you
I
know?
hope we will somehow, some way. You got to get through it. What it's going to be, we don't know, but you get through it.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much. I want to send you off with applause again. Are you ready?
Thank you,
Here's your
Carla.
applause. Take care. It was good to see you,
Thank you for
Frank.
having me.
Give our love to Jen. Our
Okay, I will.
pleasure.
Stay well,
Take
sweetheart.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right. So we still have a few people watching out here. So I will be in a couple of weeks. Next week, I'm going to be performing with my band, believe it or not, at a drive-in. And that means that the next episode of Music Live is going to come to you on October 17th. And let's reveal who our guest is going to be then. This is Restaurant Month on Music Live. So. All right. Well, before I go on to the reveal of the next guest in the next episode in a couple of weeks, I want to just say one shout out to Bucco's. One more, guys. If you're in the area, and it's Bloomfield, New Jersey, they do it up really wonderful. Definitely go patronize your local restaurants and your businesses. You know, these guys they're struggling, and we're all struggling to stay out here and not lose all that we've worked for. And we do that by being in it together. So definitely patronize your local restaurants, Bucco's for sure. And here's the reveal now. This is what happens when you start a new show and you learn how to use the studio. I hit the wrong button, but here's the right button. And let's show you who's going to be appearing on the next episode of Music Live. Oh, you busted me dancing. Okay, so that's it. We're going to have Lena's Restaurant is going to be our guest on October 17th. And we're going to have Sal and Lena Pags. They'll be joining us, and we'll be interviewing them. And just definitely keep coming back. We're trying to grow this as a grassroots. And, it's all about music and staying positive and supporting your local businesses. And, I say stay safe, stay blessed, and please keep staying in music. Have a wonderful day. Carla V signing off. Carla V Entertainment.